Today on Rock the Park,
That is really incredible.
we're back in the land of one of our most challenging adventures.
That's amazing.
To check up on a past mission,
The data loggers you installed provided data that we can use.
And for a rematch with a beast of a mountain.
A long, rocky, and grueling stretch.
This is Great Basin National Park.
I can feel it, literally, I can feel it in my lungs. It is just so awesome up here.
And it all starts right now.
This is exciting.
I'm Jack Stewart.
This is the real deal.
and I'm Colton Smith.
These are mountains!
We've been buddies for years, always in search of the next adventure.
Dude, what was that? We share a passion for our national parks and other wild places around the world.
Oh my God. Heading off the beaten path, pushing our limits, and experiencing nature's best kept secrets.
Here we go!
It's how we rock the park. One of the things we love about our national parks is no matter how many times we visit, we're guaranteed to have a completely different experience every time. All right, we are back in Great Basin National Park. Great Basin is bursting with natural treasures, from the oldest trees on Earth to spectacular caverns below ground, and Nevada's second tallest mountain soaring above.
We love Great Basin. This park is absolutely amazing, but we've got some unfinished business with this place.
2 years ago, we tried to summit the 13,000-foot Wheeler Peak, but early snow cover and the clock worked against us.
We're not gonna make it.
Man, we're so close.
We just ran out of daylight.
Yeah.
If we were to go up this, we'd be coming down in the dark, and that's not safe.
It's the right call. It really is.
This time around, we're determined to reach the summit. Great Basin National Park is in eastern Nevada, about 300 miles north of Las Vegas. It gets its name from the high desert between the Sierra Nevadas and the Wasatch Mountains.
But before we start climbing, we've got a date in the opposite direction. So we're here bright and early before really the park is even open to meet up with an old friend. An old friend who sent us on quite the adventure last time. We installed climate data recorders in a cave with barely enough room to crawl through. And it was the adventure of a lifetime.
We've done some serious caving. That cave was terrifying. I still wake up with the cold sweats thinking about it.
Push it, you got it. Push it. Yeah, you did it.
We got lost and almost got stuck a few times, but in the end, we accomplished our mission.
I think this is it. This is number 2. All right, yes.
We had a pretty harrowing experience in there, but we placed some data loggers deep within the cave. So one of the things we're gonna do while we're back here is see if we actually were able to do any good.
Hi, Jack. Hi,
are ya?
Colton.
We're catching back up with ecologist Gretchen Baker, who tells us those thermometers have been doing their job.
The data loggers you installed provided data that we can use.
So we actually did it right.
did something,
Yeah. That is cool.
Today, though, let's go into Liman Caves, and it's a beautiful cave, very different experience than Little Muddy.
All right, we'll follow you. Today, we're exploring one of the highlights of the park, a cavern that was discovered by a local rancher named Absalom Liman in 1885.
And he came down into here, and it kept going.
That's what I love about caves. It's so funny to me how there could be no hole or there could be a hole this big, but then if you get through that, it opens up to just these massive rooms. Liman is what's called a solution cave because it's been formed by chemicals in water slowly dissolving the rock to create these openings. 2 miles of passageways and caverns make this the longest known cave in Nevada. Let me test my cave terminology.
I could use a refresher myself.
Stalactites are the ones that hang tight to the ceiling and come down. Stalagmites might reach the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. So if the water's dripping slowly, then the calcite has more time to deposit at the top. But if it's dripping faster, it's going down to the bottom, and then that calcite is building up from the bottom up.
And then if they do connect, then it's a column, correct?
That's right.
And that's just for starters. Check out these formations in what looks like the underside of a garden. Believe it or not, scientists aren't really sure how these form.
We call these turnip stalactites, and they have that big bulge in the middle. We haven't really seen these form. We have a couple times, though, seen a bubble at the end of a stalactite. And so possibly, if there's a bubble that stays long enough, the calcite will form on the outside part of the bubble. And so that's one hypothesis.
Interesting.
But ecologists do know what causes this 50-foot tall flowing feature.
We're in the music room.
Is that because it looks like organ pipes?
It does.
These are actually called draperies, created when calcite-rich water runs down an overhanging wall.
And the water just flows along the wall and slowly deposits the calcite.
And look at this. When a drapery is striped by different levels of mineral deposits, it's called cave bacon, for obvious reasons.
This is low.
But among all these formations, Liman is best known for its hundreds of cave shields. This is an area called the Grand Palace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's our parachute shield, one of the most famous shields in this cave.
Shields are huge discs that form when calcite-rich water is forced under pressure through a cave wall or ceiling.
There's extra water that comes out from that crack. Then it can run over the cave shield and decorate it even more with stalactites and draperies.
Yeah, you can definitely see the circular shape up there. But then all of the stalactites are just so beautiful.
That is really incredible.
That's amazing.
Since you two helped out with the data loggers in Little Muddy, would you like to go deeper into the cave and see a data logger site we have that's fairly comparable to what we found in Little Muddy?
Of course.
Certainly.
There aren't any tight squeezes for this guy, are there?
Oh, we could make one.
No, we don't have to.
Okay.
Actually, we're heading to a spot few visitors ever get to see.
This is incredible.
We're in Nevada's Great Basin National Park, getting an update on some cave research we helped with a few years ago. And we're learning about some of the creatures that live underground in places like Liman Cave.
Here is a pack rat midden.
Pack rats are wood rats, and a midden is a gnarly pile of leaves, animal bones, seeds, and other debris that rats collect and store by their nests.
And they build it up over time.
Don't they pass it on like to different generations?
Goes generation to generation. And some of them in the area have been dated to thousands of years old. Wow. Yeah.
That's so much tinier than I thought.
This cave dweller is unique to Great Basin.
This is the Liman Cave pseudoscorpion.
The one on the cave wall is dead, but this video shows a living scorpion.
And it's the top invertebrate predator in the cave.
You can see it's pretty small, and it's called a pseudoscorpion because it doesn't have a stinging tail. They're not harmful to humans, but they're still deadly to their prey.
It'll inject venom into its prey, and that paralyzes it.
That venom comes from poison glands in their pincers. From here, we're heading to a spot that's been closed to most visitors since 1981.
We are going to be going off trail. That's why we need the helmets, the lights, and the gloves. We just need to take precautions on our footing mainly. As we go through there.
Okay, great.
We're going to go down this long passage and then take a climb up into the talus room, which is the biggest room in Liman Cave.
The talus room gets its name from the loose rocks called talus under our feet.
So here are our data loggers in the talus room.
This little research device is measuring the atmospheric conditions in this part of Liman Cave.
So I actually have the ones that you guys set up
Oh, nice.
in Little Muddy.
These are the exact data loggers that we placed.
Deep within Little Muddy Cave.
So let me show you what those data loggers did.
Okay.
Yes.
The temperature, which is this red line, and the relative humidity, which is this green line. And they recorded that every hour from November until June of the next year.
Wow.
This temperature is about 52.1 degrees Fahrenheit, And that's the same that we're getting with these data loggers here in the Talus room. And what you collected with these data loggers was our baseline data. So we're gonna keep collecting that data. And then when we look at it and analyze it in the future, we can see if it's changing.
So if you did see a variation in the temperature, what exactly would that mean?
So we're expecting that over time that the temperature in the caves are going to be getting warmer because of climate change. So that can affect what lives in the cave because they're adapted to a very steady climate with little alterations. Since we're in the Talus room, do you want to see some more of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow,
Check it out.
this is incredible.
Here we are in the big part of the Talus room. We're over 100 feet underground.
And is this the biggest cavern in the entire cave?
That's right. This room is over 1 football field long.
This is enormous.
I see we've got some writing down here.
Some big writing.
We have some inscriptions on here from 1885.
Oh my gosh,
This is actually done with charcoal.
those will be there for a long, long time.
That's right.
Early visitors saw these messages as a point of pride. Nowadays, this kind of writing isn't just discouraged, it's illegal.
That's a good reminder to not leave your own mark on these caves because it'll stick around for so long.
Exactly.
Now, before we leave, can we turn off our lights just to get the full dark experience?
Sure.
All right, you guys, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Wow. Imagine trying to crawl out of here without a light.
Oh, that would be bad.
You couldn't.
And luckily, we don't have to. It's time to trade the underground for the alpine. Yes, we've got a date with destiny.
We're climbing a mountain now.
We're on a return visit to Great Basin National Park for a rematch with Wheeler Peak, the tallest mountain in the park and the second tallest in the entire state of Nevada.
We were here a few years ago, as you guys know, and we did not make it to the summit.
Last time, we had a rough go of things. Is it not pumping?
Something's not working.
Our water filter froze on us, that delayed us, and then it was slow going.
And we ran out of daylight. Things went wrong and we couldn't make it. So we're back and we're gonna get to the top of this thing.
Yep, this is gonna be amazing.
This is it. We are ready to go. We're looking at a little over 4 miles to get up to the summit. So I got trekking poles, plenty of water, plenty of food.
We're just prepared for anything because one way or another, we're making it to the top of Wheeler Peak.
We're setting off in a grove of quaking aspens, trees that get their nickname from the way their leaves seem to tremble in the breeze. Great Basin is best known for its bristlecone pines, the oldest trees on Earth. They can survive thousands of years in very harsh conditions.
We get to hike through some spectacular forests, and this one is no different. We often forget how just incredibly important our trees and forests are to really our way of living and life on this planet. Our forests are considered the lungs of our Earth. These trees absorb enormous amounts of carbon dioxide, and they act as almost a purification system, taking that carbon dioxide out of the air and producing this clean oxygen that we need to wake up, to take that deep breath, to climb mountains. It's amazing.
And we're not the only ones enjoying this. There's a ton of wildlife out here. Right now, we're keeping an eye and ear out for elk. They're heading into the rut, their mating season, so it's not uncommon to hear their bugle call, which they use to challenge other males and organize their herds.
We're getting close to where we're gonna break out a tree line, and from there, things are gonna get more and more dramatic, and the hike is gonna get much more challenging.
We've already got about a mile covered and 3 more to go.
All right, we're getting closer to breaking out a tree line.
This is where we start to go up.
This hike has 3 distinct sections.
You've got the forest, then you break out of the tree line and make your way up to the ridge. Then it's the long push.
A long, rocky, and grueling stretch, but it is a straight shot.
You know, as determined as we are to make it to the top, you never know what's gonna happen. That's why, to me, it's always important to just enjoy the journey. And one of the things that I love about this park is you can see all the way down into the valley. And that is a long drop. I mean, thousands of feet. And it's what really gives this park its name, the Great Basin, which is down there.
All right, man, ridge line.
Here we go.
It only gets harder from here.
The thing about this ridgeline is if you look up top, you can see that way up there. And once we reach that point, we're not even close.
No, not even. That's what's crazy about this. The ridge has all of these different humps that are deceiving. So it's all about just taking it one step at a time.
When we hit this point on our last trip, it wasn't the false summit slowing us down.
The snow is making every step just so much harder.
The moment your foot hits the ground, it just sinks. Just like that. And that lift and sink, it just wears on you.
Thankfully, we've got a fairly clear path ahead today.
We're climbing a mountain now. We are making great progress. We just hit the top of that major false summit.
We're basically at the point where last time we had to look at one another and at you and say, that's the end of this trip.
Yeah, this is about our high point.
We are up probably now at about 12,000 feet, but man, I've got energy for days.
You know, we're feeling good. We're making good timing. But I gotta say, that final stretch up the ridge to the summit looks steep.
Now we can see it.
What do you think?
Onward.
It's the final round in our rematch with this mountain.
We are getting so close to this summit. I can feel it, literally, I can feel it in my lungs.
This is exciting.
This is it!
We're closing in on 13,000 feet in our second attempt to touch the top of Wheeler Peak in Great Basin National Park.
We are getting so close to this summit. I can feel it, literally, I can feel it in my lungs. It is just so awesome up here.
This was a mountain that when we came up short, we knew we were gonna come back and we were gonna climb this thing. And we're just like that.
Almost there.
This is exciting.
Never had so much energy getting up to a summit in my life. Could be the final ridge.
Wow! Look at that.
We are literally like 50 feet below the summit on the final ridge line. We've been looking this way the entire day, and now we finally have a view of what is on the other side of this mountain, and it is epic. It's another epic ridgeline.
This is just phenomenal.
This is why climbing mountains is so rewarding. All right, last 50 feet. Woo!
Ha-ha!
Summit! Yeah!
Yes!
Wheeler Peak, we're back, we made it. Wow.
And man, oh man, was that worth the wait? Look at this view.
Unbelievable. I think it's incredible to stand on the summit right now, but I also feel really good about stopping last time. You know,
Yeah.
Mountains are powerful places. Having the guts to make the decision to stop, I think, was such a wise choice because you live to climb another day. And here we are, we got back.
And to tell you the truth, it makes it so much more rewarding.
Totally.
These places are so incredibly special because of what they bring out in you and that drive that we had today. Waking up and just saying, like, there's no way. We are standing on that mountain peak today. There's no buts about it. These places just, they pump life into you. Great Basin National Park is a special place.
I love this state so much, and I drive through it all the time. So now looking up at this peak, I'm gonna be able to say, I stood on top of that.
It's a nice feeling to finally be able to say that.
And this is a reminder of why we fight to preserve these amazing places, so we can keep coming back time and time again to experience them in new ways.
Hey, if we can do it,
So can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.